Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And now for the next film I'm going to be reviewing, is one of the films that stars the late great Robin Williams. And I showed you this because I got in one a while back. I got another in a packaging video, So now for so now for this review I'm reviewing Flubber. Yes, Flubber, like I said, starring the late great Robin Williams. Too bad he's now no longer with us. Robin Williams has always been such a great actor, and we all miss him. But Flubber, I do overall I do like the film. I remember watching it back in the day, liking the film. But the film, I would say that I liked is to decent film. It's a decent film, and but overall I do like it though. I don't love it to death or anything though, but I do like it decently. But I do remember back in the day, I do remember having a good time watching the film. Having getting some laughs in there. And always remember enjoying Robin Williams. And Robin Williams, like I said, but Robin Williams, he still does fine. He's always been fine in the film. Even right now, as of right now. And Flubber was released in released in 1997, and is directed by Les Mayfield, who directed films like Encino Man, which I like with Brendan Fraser, the 1994 Miracle on 34th Street, Blue Streak, American Outlaws, and other then The Man and Codename The Cleaner. I like Encino Man, and this film I would say I'll probably put those two as the guy's best films, Encino Man and this film. Um, and it is also written and produced by John Hughes, also another writer and director who's also is now missed. It came out in November during the Thanksgiving weekend, and it was number one for 2 weeks, and during the opening weekend it beat out Alien Resurrection for number one. And the film was a box office success too, and it made money. On a budget of $80 million, it made $177 million, $92 million in the U.S. So the film was successful, but despite that, the film did meet with negative reviews as well. Has I think it was a 5.1 or 3 I think on IMDb, and has a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes. Understandable, but I do like the film though. But even though I do understand it though, and it's also a remake of the 1961 film called the Absent-Minded Professor, because how the character is in the film, because Rob Williams plays as this college professor, and how he is how all in his head the numbers aren't put together properly, calculated much in his head, because he's sometimes is occupied with his work, but sometimes has something goes through his mind is how do I say it? How do I put it? Well, sometimes he has sometimes has a little bit of dim-wit thing, because sometimes he at the start of the film he goes to the college, goes into a class, he goes into the wrong. He teaches chemistry, but he goes into the wrong classroom. He doesn't think straight away what he's doing. But Sometimes, but he does have like does some smart things as well, because he knows how to invent stuff, you know. But like sometimes he does like he goes like not thinking 100% clearly or thinking straight, you know. But Ron Williams still does fine still overall because of just knowing what the character is and this, you know. And so yeah, it opens up with him because like I said he's a chemistry at this college which has been a college that's losing money, you know. And he wants to invent something that makes enough money to save the college. He has his little flying robot named Weebo, which is voiced by Jodi Benson, who voiced Ariel in the Little Mermaid, you know. And he's like all these other inventions, you know, to do is like his towards like make his breakfast or like clean and everything, you know. And he's also getting married to his girlfriend Sarah, played by Marcia Harden. Um, and this is just like his third time attempting to get married because he failed to get married twice before because he's been doing occupied with his work, you know, and so this is his third time attempting it, you know. Um, and while that he's also has this which pretty much you know is the villain of the film because how this Christopher McDonald is in this, you know, from playing Shooter and Happy Gilmore, you know. Um, you know straight away, you know, he's like already his villain because how his character plays, you know. Um, he's used to work with him, you know, they were partners, you know, and Chris McDonald he profited from Robin Williams' ideas, you know, and sold it as his own, stealing his ideas, you know. And of course, he also says that what was they said I profited from your ideas, and he's also asking, well, Robin was saying, what are you doing here? Well, you know, I'm here to steer your girlfriend and make her my wife. Yeah, which you know he's you know he's a villain because by saying that, you know. In which I remember seeing an episode on Nostalgia Critic, you know, he said, "Wow, that is the most blunt villain ever," you know. I always thought that was a funny line as well. From Nostalgia Critic. Um, so the night during like the day of the wedding, you know, he was supposed to go to his wedding, but he had to make this scientific breakthrough, you know, and so he misses his wedding again by doing this thing, you know, he's invented, you know, whatever he's invented, you know, and when it's done, well, it cuts to the church, you know, Marcia Gay Harden, you know, sad and everything like that. And Chris McDonald's like smiling, you know, that's happened, you know. But back at the house, you know, his lab is all in shambles, but his invention worked, you know, and he invented, of course, the flubber, you know, which doesn't know what it is. Like it's you know it's rubbery, it's elastic, you know, it can do all sorts of things, and but it doesn't like when they try to like take a picture from a camera. It doesn't hates the flash, you know, and it goes crazy, bouncing everywhere, you know. And like about gets at the window, goes bounces out through the neighborhood, you know, and everything till it catches it back. And like, Weebo, do you know what this is? A flying rubber? Yeah, that's right. It's flying rubber. It's Flubber, you know, and catches it and just hits him in the face a couple times. Like, so during the morning, you know, he knows that he missed his wedding, so he goes and tries to apologize to Sarah, you know, but she's angry at that, and he shows her the invention, you know, but she's totally interested, and so she demonstrates like it's very bouncy, so he puts it in his back pants, but as he falls off the window, you know, and the flubber gets out of his back pocket, and Ron Williams just goes and falls straight to the ground, you know. And also there's also this at the house um at this house who's the guy who's making the college lose money, you know, this guy who this guy is this guy played by Raymond J. Barry, which I've never seen this guy before. He's been in a couple of films I've seen. One of them is that he was in Sudden Death with Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was the vice president that was being held hostage, and I like that. And I do like that film. So yeah, he's the guy who's making the college lose money, and he has his two bodyguards, played by Clancy Brown and Ted Levine, and his son, played by Will Wheaton, which you probably remember him playing in the Star Trek Next Generation as Wesley. He's upset because he was given a poor grade in chemistry, which the class that he's taking, were Robin Williams' class, and so Raymond J. Barry sends his two bodyguards, which their names are Smith and Wesson. Smith is Clancy Brown and Wesson is Ted Levine. So they both go to his house so they can talk, hoping to change Will Wheaton's grade, So Ron Williams is back in his basement, he's testing out what he could do else with the flubber, so makes it into like a hand cream, and then the two guys, they're looking through the window, and he uses a golf ball, rubs the cream on the golf ball, and drops in, of course bounces everywhere. It hits Clancy Brown in the head, goes into the sky. And then it uses the bowling ball with the hand cream, bounces around, and it hits Ted Levine in the head, which of course, realistically that would bash his skull in from getting hit in the head with a bowling ball. And of course, when the golf ball and bowling ball hit the two guys again, of course that also realistically wouldn't happen with the bowling ball hitting Ted Levine again. Of course, that would have killed him, of course, but it's a movie, so it doesn't have to be. But it's not that realistic when it's in the movie, But you get what it is, They uses the flubber to make a spray, and he sprays outside, and the two guys, they try to make a break for it, but as a step, they both jump onto the spot where he sprayed it on the ground, and they both fly into this tree, and of course, there's like this running gag of the film, there's this kid who has like this huge fear of whatever is looking out through his window, and he sees the two guys hanging in the tree, and the kid runs away screaming, Then he uses the flubber to make this like engine in his car, so he can make it fly. And he's flying into the sky, and of course he goes in the same tree where the kid is, and he sees him, and runs away again. And he goes in the car, and he goes over over Sarah's house where he's dating Christopher McDonald, or Wilson is his name. Throws an apple and hits Chris McDonald in the head, So, and also when they get back to the house, that Weebo, of course, probably some people think it's a dumb thing, but oh well, it didn't bother me though, but Weebo, he has fallen in love with the professor, He's like, I don't have much of a smile, but at least I do have a brain, And Robin Williams is like, it's a human thing, not for robots. So, Weebo, like, during the night, like, goes in the computer, makes like a holographic human version of herself, And how does like he wants to like how does I say that well because he wanted the holographic version of her to kiss Robin Williams, I guess, and then he gets a smart idea. Then he comes up with an idea to goes over to the gym of the college, also use the flubber for basketball, making these things that you stick on the bottom of the heels, or the shoes, and use it on the basketball, or whatever, how high it goes when you jump on with the shoes thing on the bottom, So he uses that to put it on sticks on the shoes of the basketball team that's been losing a lot, And of course, I know of course you get the joke because all the team are wearing their nerds because the team is losing because the team are nerds because they're all wearing glasses. But he not only slips on the Flubber things on the bottom of the shoes, but he also uses the hammer to shake their hands so they making them use the ball, make it bounce, to make them win. Of course, during the game, the team wins using they're bouncing around, shooting baskets. Of course, that's how they win. Um, but what happened next? Oh, yeah, that's what happened. Well, back at the home, trying to figure out what happened next. So, got my scene switched around. Um, he's telling a Weebo, that how he feels about Sarah, and Weebo has recorded the message, about what he said, Oh, that's another. That's why I kept forgetting. During the basketball scene, while they're out, Weebo opens up the container, lets Flubber out, and you get that dance scene where there are multiple versions of Flubber, dancing around, turning into instruments like maracas and stuff, and having sort of a dance party. That was the scene I forgot. That was the scene I forgot to mention. Although honestly I skipped past that part because it was kind of a pointless scene though, because we get how the Flubber can do, but yeah, that was like one scene that I thought that was kind of pointless though, but I forgot to mention that because that's the scene I forgot to mention, So yeah, so after getting back on track, after Weebo recorded what Rob Williams had said, so he goes to Sarah's house and shows her the message of what he said, and so she goes over to his house, and so Sarah like got them back together, and Raymond J. Richmond and his son and the two guards, they want to make him a deal, to sell the Flubber. They say no, but they want to plan on selling it to a different thing anyway, But while they're out, the two bodyguards, they break into his house, steal the Flubber. Weebo tries to fight them off, but Ted Levine gets a baseball bat and whacks Weebo, and then they steal it, So when they get back, they find the house is a mess and Weebo has been destroyed, But she lets herself she put a backup of herself on the computer, showing the image of her holographic human form, it took a few of my flaws and added a little bit of yours, and that she made designs for her daughter, I hope you can love my daughter as much as I loved you, So it shows designs of we bet, as I think it was called We Bet, It's a Weebo, it's a red version of her, but like Weebo is yellow and the daughter is red, So after that, they go back to the guy's mansion, and they say that he's ready. He wants to make a deal and to help to save the college, And as they get into the library, they see the guy who's behind this, which of course I knew who it was, and that is Wilson or Christopher McDonald, Of course, you knew straight away he was a villain because most of the times he always plays a jerk or a bad villain, So, Rob Williams, so he said he wants to see the Flubber, and he takes out like a it has like a black. Okay, this is what I thought was funny. Like he has like this little squirt gun, like Ted Levine. Yeah, it says what is that? And it's a squirt gun. He's doing squirting Robin Williams with it, and Raymond J. Richmond is like Raymond J. Barry was like give it to him. He keeps on shooting him. It's like no, no, let him have it, No, put it in his hand. His shoot is squaring in his hand. No, give the gun to him. And Levine's like, oh. So he opens the. Okay, that's one. That's the thing I thought was funny. So he opens up the thing, and it has in his hand, and he like secretly, like, not without knowing, has their car hover over the house into the window, and tells it the Flubber to do it for Weebo, and shines the headlights, and Weebo, the Flubber goes crazy, bouncing around. And also him and Sarah's shoes had those things to make them bounce, jumping around. And also had some of the Sarah's like punching a Wilson, because she has the like bouncing, because they also had the hand cream as well, and it's like punching like that because it's bouncing. Ted Levine does the punch around once, but he used the squirt gun around here, on his face, and he punches and bounces back at him, runs to a statue, Will Wheaton throws an ashtray, but Raymond squirted some of that spray on his behind, and he jumps up, bounces off his rear from his behind, and it hits Will Wheaton in the head. Sarah catches the Flubber and throws it towards. It hits Raymond J. Barry, sends it flying through the window, and it bounces back, and and Christopher McDonald swallows the Flubber, and he's all tickling him inside. He's like, woo, And of course, that's the next joke. What probably people thought was funny, but to me it was like, how I put it, like, he farts the Flubber out of his, what. Yeah. Yeah, I know probably people think that joke is funny, but I was like, That's why I probably thought it was funny years ago, though. But when I watched it, but watching it again, of course, that's why I think it's a decent film, than I used to think of the film, though. Because watching it again, I can see what some of the stuff, couple of jokes like that, Chris McDonald farting out the Flubber, that's one of the jokes. But yeah, and now that both Sarah and Philip, that's what Robin Williams' character's name is, Philip. Now they're doing they're attempting the fourth time of getting married, and Robin Williams is still back at the house doing his chemistry stuff, and Weebo has him on video, as they, congratulations, you may now kiss the video screen, and as Robin Williams mixes the chemicals in, his house explodes. Like, nothing will go wrong. And then you see you see the golf ball, the bullet ball still bouncing up in the air, And then of course, you have that kid who has been afraid of running away. He's on this airplane. Looks out the window, sees them flying in their car, and the Flubber puts himself on the window, and Weebi's like, get back here, and she's complaining about Flubber, He's like, oh, look at him, he's disgusting, Oh, when they get to Hawaii, I hope he melts, So yeah. So that's the end of the film. But yeah, like I said before, it's a decent film now, though. But like I said, back in the day, years ago, I would think it was a lot funnier, and I liked it more, But watching it again, I find it now it's down to liking it decently, It's now a decent film, Yeah, the effects, of the Flubber, because also it was supposed to be nominated for Academy Award for Best Visual Effects, but it never got nominated in the first place. It was cut from the list, Yeah, I could see why, though. But yeah, especially the effects from 1997, I think the Flubber effects, I think they're fine, decent fine, Um, Ron Williams, like I said before, he still does good. You know, like playing how he usually plays as those quirky, funny characters. You know, Ron Williams always did fine to me. You know, that's the reason why I keep watching the film, because for Ron Williams now. Marcia Gay Harden, she was fine as well. For you know, Marcia Gay Harden, like, you probably remember her playing as the crazy lady in Stephen King's The Mist. You know. And I'm looking at, I think also she also appears in the film 50 Shades of Grey recently. You know. Of course, Christopher McDonald, of course, you know, playing the kind of character he mostly always plays, you know. Not always, but most of the times, you know. Because, for whatever Christopher McDonald, he doesn't, for him, not once, for one time, he didn't play that kind of character was in the horror film that I really do enjoy, The Collection, you know. He plays, because in that film he played a father who wants his daughter back, you know. So he didn't play that kind of character like this in that film, you know. So he doesn't always play, but most of the times does play that kind of a character though. But he can play, you know, not a kind, caring character like in that film, you know. Other characters, Raymond J. Barry, he was all right. Although I do like Clancy Brown and Ted Levine, because I like both those actors, Clancy Brown and Ted Levine. The music by Danny Elfman, which I always liked a lot of the scores to the films, you know. The music was there, you know, especially from Danny Elfman, it was there. The John Hughes, you know, he not only did he produce it, but he also helped write the film as well. Um, that's why some of the things that I disliked, you know, of course, like I said, the scene where the Flubber, they're dancing, you know, whether, you know, all the different versions of him dancing, you know, I think that part could have been cut though, but needed more to see what the Flubber could do, you know, but I can just skip through that part though, and of course like the joke, you know, of course with Chris McDonald farting out the Flubber, you know, when he swallowed it. Uh, yeah, I'll do anything else to think about, you know. Well, I do respect, you know, what John Hughes did, you know, because, you know, he's no longer with us, you know. He like directed, like, produced some serious films, you know, but of course he did all these comedies like Flubber and what other stuff he wrote, oh, Baby's Day Out, the Home Alone films, you know. But still John Hughes. I still like John Hughes as a writer and producer and director. You know, he still does fine. You know, the direction by Les Mayfield. I still prefer Encino Man more than Flubber though. To be honest though, but overall, I still think this is a decent film. You know, and if I want to watch it, I would watch it for Ron Williams, because like I said, he still does good still in the film. So no special features, just a trailer and that's it. Um, it's on for 93 minutes. Another good thing, at a decent pace. It didn't drag, you know. It went at a decent pace. Uh, yeah. But is anyone still haven't seen Flubber, or anyone who still is a big fan of Robin Williams? Go check out Flubber if you haven't seen it. You know, if you don't like it, I understand why. But I do like the film still. I think it's still a decent film. So anyway, that's my review. That's my review for Flubber, late great Robin Williams. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.